All right, I'm here with Jake Harshman at a spot that I can only describe as remote.
Yeah, it's a little remote, yeah.
So this is one of those places that you look at Google Maps for a long time and you say, "What about that? Can we get in there?"
It's gonna be fun.
Well, my John boat's already in there, which was interesting. Certainly used some, 4-wheel drive low. We got some horse flies. Should be an interesting day.
So. I think so. I think it's going to be a good day. I think, these kinds of waters are very low pressured.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be key. A lot of grass. I'm not even bringing a fish finder today. I mean, a lot of grass. So it's got the necessary things to be a good fishery.
Cool. Let's go find them.
Let's get them.
All right. All right. So this is what we're working with. So we're gonna have to find some open water. You got any palmetto bugs?
I do.
Okay. So that's what I did well on yesterday, fishing on this kind of shallow stuff. You need a grip pin hook to fish it weedless?
Yeah, I think that would be the best bet.
All right, let me get you one. Right on the edge of the opening. First one. Got that grass on them. I cast it out into the middle, let it sit for a minute, and then twist it right to the edge. You hit it, you gave him a 2 count, and then set it. Pretty one. So the 4-inch swimmer's here with a, go ahead and get him back in. Thank you, fishy. I'll show you this bait. So 4-inch swimmers, and I'm gonna back it up off of the chin locks hook. So that's the hook we got it on. And we get the nose really stays on that weight up front, and that kind of boot tail swings around behind, makes a nice little vibration. I just got it to the edge of the grass bed and the line where it was open water, and I could see the swirl. I didn't feel a hit, but I saw a swirl, and I dropped the rod tip and said go, and I watched the braided line start to draw up. I knew, all right, he's on there. Set the hook. So a little bit deeper water, a little bit of an opening in the grass. Actually, that was a big opening. I got a little one over here. I'm gonna give it a shot and just look for that swirl. Let him come up and chomp it. But that 4-inch gold profile coming across these little grass edges and the openings. We got some more coming up over here. Take a look. There's a lot of bait fish that are 4 inches and gold. If I can, I get it to the opening and I stall it and I let it drop down in there. seems like the openings are productive, but in particular where you have the wind blowing scum into one little spot. You know, I think they lay underneath that scum as cover. Not like they need any more in here, but you know, it's I missed him a second ago, and then I went back in and I got him. And where I missed him, I set the hook too fast. When I got him the second time, and maybe it was a different fish. It was probably a different fish. I saw him blow up. I said, 1, 2, bam, and hit him. And that's the self-control to do that. But let's take a look at the water that he was from, which was the same spot as that first nice one when we pulled in here. You got a nice big open, and Jake just cast to it, and you know, this stuff all around, and the wind has been blowing right to left, and the edge right there in the center of the frame, it has a little bit of scum back there. That's where he rocketed out of. So if we can find more spots like this where you have big opening, wind blowing this way, I know the wind's not blowing now, but it has been, and piling up the scum on that side, it's been consistent. That's where they're eating. Here's another example right back here, smaller one, but opening, wind blowing this way, and then that's the scum I'm talking about. You can see it better here because of the reflection of the bank. That stuff, that is what I've been finding them under. All right, it's 11 o'clock. I actually gotta get back downstate. I got someone I'm meeting at a private pond actually, so appreciate the invite and the research you did to find this place. It's a cool area. So
It's a really cool area. It's got a lot of stuff to it. So.
All right, you ready to zoom out?
I'm ready.
All right, do it. With my buddy Adam Corey, we're at a private pond at an undisclosed location in Delmarva.
Right. Secret locations on Delmarva, man, no doubt about it. How you doing today, Jeff?
Doing good, man.
Good. This thing is really moving this thing along. I'm gonna put it up to full throttle if you don't mind.
Yeah, play around with it, man. It's gonna be nice to, you know, be a passenger with two of us in the boat. We've been running it with just one person, and it'll handle two. So it looks like it's been higher, as you can see a water line.
Been actively pumping out of this pond for quite some time because, as you know, Jeff, this is an active mine.
Right.
And the mining operations started back up this year and started dewatering at a rate of 1 million gallons a day or more. So it's really come down quite a bit, but it's brought all those largemouth bass out of the structure. So
nice.
They're back to what their usual habits were when it was, before it got completely flooded when they stopped dewatering.
Besides the largemouth, what else we got?
Tremendously sized bluegill. I mean, bigger than I've ever seen anywhere else.
Cool. Let's start with that. Where's a good spot for that?
We'll go out here to this kind of
a trout magnet under a bobber. I'd love to catch some big bluegill.
Well, right out here where the seagulls are starting to come down, there's a pretty big flat there, and just off that flat there's a big drop off that gets to around 20-25 feet, and if the water clarity is as good as it is right now, even at that depth the bluegills will bed up there.
Nice.
Even though obviously they're probably done spawning right now, they still hang out in those depths.
Okay.
I think they try to hang out there just to stay away from the largemouth bass, because really, if you think about it, other than the bass being carnivores for their own young, the bluegill is the only other forage food here. So
okay. So forget the bobber. I'm going to drop my jig down deep to get the bluegill.
I've usually gotten the largest bluegill trolling a deep crankbait at 12 to 15 feet.
Huh. All right.
We'll need to turn on the electronics up here on the old Hummingbird.
Yeah,
and,
go ahead, and you hit exit. It's in that startup screen, and hit that. There's 3 presets down the right-hand side. If you hit the middle one, you get all 3: side image, the graph, everything.
I'm gonna throttle back just a little bit here, and we're really honestly starting to come right over top of where this is. Tends to be pretty good.
Okay.
Jeff is already hooked up. There it is, the rod bend. Pretty work.
Oh my God!
Is that one of them we were looking for? There he is.
You weren't lying.
Did we not say we were coming to the right spot? Look at that.
That honestly is one of the biggest bluegill that I've caught.
Well, you know,
And that was first cast.
like I say, buddy, they really do tend to get right on top of that ledge right there.
We went right to it, and you're just like, right here.
Right here, bud.
This is the spot.
That's it. And we were even marking them on the screen, and I could have sworn they would be LMBs, but that's awesome, Jeff. And what was that on, bud? Little
Just
trout
a
trick?
little trout. That's my hand. That thing is gorgeous.
It is beautiful. That's a warrior bluegill right there, buddy. Long-eared sunfish.
Something's been chewing on him.
Yeah, it looks like he might have gotten picked up by an osprey. I don't see any other claw marks on him, though. See you, buddy.
Zoom.
Back down to the bottom.
Oh, wow.
Well, Jeff, I'll tell you what, bud.
First cast.
What do you think? First cast? I don't think you had the bait in the water for what, 5 seconds?
No.
Man, that's a
Well,
light bait.
It got down,
Yeah.
and then it loaded up.
All right, so what we'll do is, because we, had that excellent mark, and we do have a little bit of a drift going, if you don't get one on this next drop, I'm going to punch us back up there, and then we'll anchor.
Okay.
And we got here in a quiet hurry, too. There's no doubt about that.
That was a beast. You got different marks. Look at the marks on the screen there.
Oh, yeah. We are covered up, folks. We are covered up. We're right on top of them.
Oh,
I heard that. Is it another one?
nope.
Oh, little LMB. All right.
Largies.
All right, so we're mixed in here. We got a mixed crowd going on. Love it. That is awesome. Way to go.
Fat, too.
That's good to see, man. I'm glad to see they're eating well. We had a Heroes on the Water event here just about a month ago. And, well, it wasn't really truly a Heroes on the Water event. It was just for Maryland leadership to kind of retreat and get back to making sure we had our game plan together under the new COVID restrictions. And
How's that going?
pretty well, man. I mean, we had our first event as a sub-chapter here in the Tangier Sound, and saltwater event towards Chrisfield. Here we are again. It's nice to be able to just sit here and have a conversation and keep pulling them up. There he is again. Love it. Look at that. And that's another decent sized blue or long-eared sunfish.
To me, bluegill usually means, bobber close to shoreline. That's amazing.
And you can pick them up like that. And that's a beautiful color on that jaw. Cool, man.
I could do this all day.
Let's see if you get another one right here.
I know there's some giant bass in here.
Oh,
but
there's big ones.
This is fun because I can see them on the depth finder screen, and then it loads up.
I'm out of there, buddy. All right, a little healthy largemouth bass.
See if we get him hooked up with the bluegill. And I'm gonna get a little bit of underwater footage just because I don't know, that stuff's cool. Hooked up.
Oh man, more of those marks down there. Oh, look at that one. Wow, pretty. And we got some big marks on the depth finder coming through. I know there's largemouth bass mixed in with these sunfish, but they're all just kind of communing together. Seems like when those bluegills get that large, those bass aren't telling them anything, so they don't mind being around each other. There's definitely some good marks coming through. We've proven that on the end of the rod. That's no doubt about that. So it was really nice we did just there. We're trying to stay right on top of these big chunk bluegills and long-eared sunfish, and the wind is just gently coming through here, which is nice, but honestly, it's hitting the transom of this John boat and pushing it just enough to get you off of position. So, you know, we just kind of touch that throttle in reverse, just enough to give it about 6 watts of power there. I'm going to do it again just to keep myself where I want to be. I'm actually going to leave it at 3. And I think that 3 watts of power is going to keep us right where we want to be. So we're literally locked on the spot. And we've got all these you know, long-eared sunfish and bluegills just sitting here banging away. It's nice to be able to just put her in position and keep her there, number one, and to do it under very silent control. I mean, I have to look back and make sure I've even got weight coming out. Read this thing, and I can't believe it's telling me the truth because I don't even hear anything back there. It's pretty slick.
Look at that. Look at that big mouth.
Oh, nice jump. 2 good jumps.
Okay.
Beautiful fish. That's the best one of the afternoon so far, Jeff.
Bet.
Nice. We were just getting ready to change spots, too. Wow, that thing's belly could not be any fatter for the size fish it is. Look at that. Wow, good stuff. Hooked up again, Jeff?
Yeah, sometimes I'm surprised.
Oh yeah, got a little jump on him.
They're bigger than I think. But he didn't feel big when I set the hook. You know, when you lean on them, and generally, if you have that moment of doubt of, did I just snag this in a stump or no, there's a throb. That's what we're hoping for. But this one moved when I set the hook, so, you know. Back on the bluegill. They're just too much fun, man. Like, these are the biggest bluegill I've ever caught. I mean, I had a pond growing up that I would fish that I'd catch them like this, you know, once or twice a year. But this is, you know, right there been, I don't know, it's amazing. And in deep water, like, what were we in?
Almost 15 feet.
15 feet of water. It's just not what I would have thought. So, lesson learned. If it's a bluegill, it's a good one. I was thinking it was a bass. Yeah, it's a good one. Oh, look at that.
Jeez, man. That's a slob bluegill. Wow.
Again and again and again. Look at that.
Now you know they're a good bluegill when they got a hump on their head like that.
Do you know that?
Yeah, you see how
Adam said you got a hump on your head.
Definitely, it's like a big old male togfish having a hump on his head. That's a big
cool.
bluegill, buddy. Nice.
So, you think there's a bass out here that would want to eat that?
I can't imagine. If there is, I want to see him right now.
There he goes.
Wow, better fish, dude.
All right, I switched. I figured this is the kind of place that, like, if you don't have a lot of confidence in something yet, this is where you try it. And I know that my buddy Jody Queen just won a tournament on these things, the bang sticks, and I said, yeah, I've never been successful with them, so might as well throw it. And I figured, you know, I was throwing that black jig, which I always love a black jig, but I figured, you know, in this clear water, see you guy, might as well throw something green pumpkin. So without caring about water quality, we wouldn't have Torquedo. It comes from, you know, the need to boat where you have regulations, it's electric only, and that's really all about water quality. And it's kind of cool that I have somebody here that that works on water quality professionally. You want to?
Yeah, sure. So I've worked for the state for a little on 15 years now. Started out my career with the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, which is now Maryland Department of Health, and then moved on to a career with Maryland Department of the Environment, which is their sister agencies, and there he is right there. So water quality is certainly definitely a a paramount concern of mine. I mean, growing up on the Chesapeake Bay and being concerned about the environment, you know, working for my uncle on his Christmas tree farm, and, you know, just being an avid outdoorsman, hunter and fisher, and, you know, it makes sense to be concerned about what you have around you that God left for you. Water quality specifically for the property that we're at today, obviously we're very close to a municipal landfill, and people would think, wow, that water's going to be pretty polluted. But in all honesty, it's probably some of the more cleaner water because it's groundwater fed. It's a mine. It doesn't have any true inlets that are able to be affected by surface runoff. So we plenty of times during the year in this pond when we hold our Heroes on the Water events and so forth. I mean, we're able to see 25 feet down some days. I mean, today I know we've seen down at least 6 and 8 feet in certain places. So obviously these fish are clean and healthy too. You know, rarely ever have a sore on them, even in the hook scars in their mouth, and they've been caught numerous times. So it's certainly something that, you know, I take personally. You know, in my job currently, I work with on-site sewage disposal systems and water wells in the state of Maryland. There's a lot of people that don't realize there's a lot of citizens in the state that are on-site sewage disposal and wells, and, you know, people just think you flush the toilet and, you know, it's gone. Well, that's kind of true, but there's a process that goes on with that, and you know, we all got to do our parts to be stewards of the environment, and I certainly take that honor seriously every day in my career, no doubt about it.
Stay down. That was fun because I got to see the mark on the depth finder and just say, oh, reel it in, drop it, transducers here, let it free fall, and there he is. Nice one. All right, Adam's gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna stick around for a little while longer, but let's go ahead and zoom back, and appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate the invite.
Yeah.
One thing I want to do come this fall, you got a electric only place to do some duck hunting?
Yep, the Deal Island Wildlife Management Area poundments are electric only, so this would do pretty sweet down there.
Cool.
No doubt.
Well, I'll bring it back. We'll do some duck hunting in the fall with this rig and get deep into that area.
That's going to be pretty awesome.
Right on.
It really will. So, dude, special place. I'm glad you were able to make it down here. This place is pretty cool, man. It's a place we only a few people have permission for, and just for special things like doing this filming for you today, and like I say, Heroes on the Water, and that's about it, man. So it's a very under-pressured, underutilized pond, and that's fine. That's just the way it is. So it's very cool. Very
nice.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Let's
You may cruise on out.
Yep.
All right, man. Here we roll.
All right. I'm on my own for the last couple hours of daylight, and I think the plan is, because there's such a bluegill forage base, I got a live target wake bait there, and I'll alternate between that and a pretty large profile. That's a 1/2 ounce jackhammer with a 6-inch gold. It's actually Houdini colored, but it's the gold 1/2 ounce jackhammer with the it's a 6-inch swimmers. So 2 pretty big profiled bluegill profiles. So we'll see what happens there. It's skinny. It's funny. The skinnier I'm catching them, the shallower they are, and then we were catching the fat ones out in 25 feet of water. Might need to go back out to deep water. All right, I got a couple shallow, just working the shoreline with the jackhammer. I think I'd rather go back deep where we were getting them and just go for a healthier, thicker fish. So I think it's a 3/8 ounce or maybe 1/2 ounce tungsten weight, and the grip pin hook I got the little bobber stop there just to pin it because it was getting into a little bit of grass. So let's go back out deep with that, see if we can get a couple more. Well fed. All right, that was another fun day on 2 more ponds on the Delmarva. Sun has gone down. Time to zoom on out of here.